That is enough said.
Happy Friday, Heat Nation! Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. You know your boy's got an extra pep in his step because it's Friday, the weekend's here, and I am ready to rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to show some love. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Now, on today's video, you guys, I want to talk about something a little bit different. It's actually something a few of the fans were talking about in the comments, so this is for y'all. But before we get there, just a little reminder, the Miami Heat do have a game tonight. We're playing the Memphis Grizzlies in our 5th game of preseason action. Right now, the Miami Heat are currently 3-1. I know the preseason don't really matter that much, but a lot of great takeaways from the preseason. First and foremost, you are seeing the starting lineup. You are seeing a more motivated Jimmy Butler. You are seeing a Tyler Hero with a chip on his shoulder. You are seeing Terry Rozier more acclimated with this team. Y'all, the 2025 Miami Heat are gonna be a problem. Now, we're talking about top heavy. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, Kevin Love, Duncan Robinson. We know where this team is bread and buttered. But what I want to talk about today is the young players on this roster. Who can help the Miami Heat this season? Who actually has a shot of making the rotation? Now, we know that this Miami Heat team is deep. Think of some of the names that I just mentioned, you guys. I still haven't mentioned guys like Haywood Highsmith. You know, Thomas Bryant. You know, there's certain guys that are going to give you depth. There's certain guys that are going to give you help right away. There's certain veterans that are going to be able to help you in certain games. Josh Richardson right now, you guys, is currently questionable to play. So that means he should be coming back very soon. I understand people may think Josh Richardson may not crack this rotation, but remember, last season he averaged about 10 points a game coming off the bench. He's a defensive pest. He knows this Miami Heat system. He was drafted here. So I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Richardson steps up and takes that Alec Burks role. I've said this before, you guys. We've seen the starting 5. You know it's going to be Duncan and Jaime coming off the bench as your 6-man / Swiss Army knife. You got Haywood Highsmith, who's your defensive stopper. You got Alec Burks, who's your offensive juggernaut, your microwave off the bench. You got bigs like Thomas Bryant and Kevin Love to come off the bench for Bam Adebayo. And when Josh Richardson comes back, he's going to be able to produce as well. But what about some of the other guys? Kel'el Ware, our 1st-round draft pick. Pelle Larsson, our 2nd-round draft pick. Our two-way players like Keshad Johnson, Josh Christopher, Drew Smith. You got guys like Zion Pullen, Isaiah Stevens waiting in the wings. Who can actually help this Miami Heat team? Well, first and foremost, look no further than our 1st-round draft pick, Kel'el Ware. Now, in 4 games in preseason action, you guys, Kel'el Ware is averaging about 6.5 points a game, 4 rebounds, a blocked shot, solid numbers all around. But we know that Kel'el Ware is raw, 20 years old, only played 2 years in college, still learning the Miami Heat system. I'm sure the Miami Heat wants him to gain some size, kind of like what they did with Nikola Jovic. They drafted Nikola Jovic at a very slender 6'10", 6'9", 210 pounds. He has gained 30 pounds of muscle since being drafted by this roster. I know the Miami Heat are looking at Kel'el Ware as a project this season, similar to Bam Adebayo his 1st year. Bam Adebayo was backing up Hassan Whiteside, didn't really play every game. So we know that Kel'el Ware is going to get that opportunity. The question is when. Well, I've said this before, you guys. Kel'el Ware is going to get his opportunity once Thomas Bryant or Kevin Love get injured. Or if he keeps developing and stepping up more in practice. But you guys are going to see Kel'el Ware help this team during the season. The biggest reason why Jaime Jaquez got his rub last year, you guys, was because of injuries to Haywood Highsmith and Caleb Martin. But also the fact that Jaime was a 4-year player in UCLA. He was ready to help. He was polished. He was developed. 4 years in college is a big deal, you guys. And that's going on to our 2nd-round draft pick, Pelle Larsson. In 4 games, he's averaging about 5.3 points a game, a rebound, 1.5 steals. You know, the guy is showing you that he is a good 3-and-D level type of player, averaging 43% from the three-point line, being a pest on the defensive end. 4 years in Arizona, you guys, shows me that he is ready to contribute. Pelle Larsson was not drafted in the second round by the Miami Heat as a filler. They actually see something in him, and we've all seen it as well in preseason. Do I think that Pelle Larsson will actually get a spot this season? Probably not. He's going to be more of a G League type of player. He's going to dominate there. They're going to polish him and develop him. We know that. I think that Pelle Larsson will really get his shot probably next season. But you never know, you guys. If there's one thing that we know about this Miami Heat team every season, we suffer injuries during the regular season. So Pelle Larsson may get his opportunity as well. But what about our Summer League star, Josh Christopher? Josh Christopher was on an Exhibit 10 contract and was upgraded to a two-way contract. We've seen what Josh Christopher did in Summer League. You're seeing what he's done in preseason, averaging 5.3 points a game, averaging 2 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 2 rebounds a game, 1.5 steals a game. He can hold his own both on the offensive and the defensive end. Josh Christopher is a guy that you cannot let go, because I see huge development in this player in the future. I think Josh Christopher has a great shot with this Miami Heat team. And let's not forget the other breakout star in the Summer League, Keshad Johnson, averaging 4 points a game in preseason, 1.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists. But you know, the ceiling on Keshad Johnson is amazing. I look at Keshad Johnson, you guys, and I see another Caleb Martin. Right there, you guys, tells me that Keshad Johnson should definitely stay with that two-way contract. Now, can Keshad Johnson and Josh Christopher actually help us for this season? Sure. We've seen games, you guys, in recent years where the Miami Heat has like 6 to 8 players not playing. You know those grind times in December, January, where people are taking games off because they have small injuries. You're going to look at guys like Josh Christopher. You're going to look at guys like Keshad Johnson to help you out. We've seen this before with the Miami Heat in recent years, you guys. We've seen players like Jamal Cain, Orlando Robinson, Omer Yurtseven step up at times when injury is called upon. So I feel that these certain players, that's exactly what they're going to do. Pelle Larsson, Josh Christopher, Keshad Johnson, these are 3 specific players, you guys, that I feel will be able to help the Miami Heat win some games during December, January, February. Stretches of the season that are just, times for players. I'd love all these players to play 82 games. I'd love for all of our stars to play 82 games. But the likelihood of that happening, very slim. But the last point I want to get to is the final two-way contract spot. That's going to be tossed between 3 players. Drew Smith, who currently has that spot. Isaiah Stevens, and Zion Pullen. I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's not going to be Zion Pullen. He only played 1 game in preseason action. He did get 5 points, 2 assists, a rebound, but he hasn't been cracking the rotation there. So I don't think it's going to be him. It's going to be a battle between Drew Smith and Isaiah Stevens. They're both playing solid. Isaiah Stevens averaging 1.3 points a game, but 2.3 assists a game. You know what you get with Isaiah Stevens, a floor general. You get a Kyle Lowry-esque type of player. A QB1 type of point guard who thinks of pass first rather than scoring. That's an old school point guard. Solid on the defensive end, quick on his feet. I love Isaiah Stevens. But if you guys want me to be honest, it's going to stay with Drew Smith. For a few reasons. 1, he's playing more games, playing more minutes. He has Eric Spoelstra's trust. He played with the Miami Heat the last couple years. He was a part of the rotation last year before he got injured. Drew Smith is a guy that defensively is annoying as hell. You saw what he did against Chris Paul in the San Antonio Spurs. You saw what he's done in recent games. This is a guy that you can look at to be called upon to give you 10 to 15 minutes a game to just be an annoying pest defensively for the opposing team's point guard. Drew Smith averaging 3.5 points a game, 3.5 assists a game, 1.5 rebounds. So Drew Smith is really holding his own. I think that spot is going to stay with Drew Smith. And you know what? I think he's earned it. I think Drew Smith has put himself in a situation where he's showing the Miami Heat Nation that he can be that possible backup point guard. But I know a lot of people prefer Isaiah Stevens more. I wish we can keep them both because it's kind of like having Haywood Highsmith and Alec Burke. One player is way better defensively, one player is way better on the offensive end. But we can't. You only have 3 two-way contracts. The first 2 are Josh Christopher, Keshad Johnson. The final one is going to be either Drew Smith or Isaiah Stevens. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. Do you think any of these players that I named are going to help the Miami Heat this season? Now, obviously, I think we all know Kel'el Ware is going to get some time. It's just a developmental process. But between Pele Larson, Keshad Johnson, Josh Christopher, Drew Smith, or Isaiah Stevens, who do you think is actually going to help this roster? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers. Remember, you guys, get me to 5,000 subscribers by the beginning of the regular season, and I'll do a $50 giveaway. We just hit 4,800 subscribers. We are less than 200 away. All hands on deck. Let's get it. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Yeah, buddy. Respect the drip.